Welcome to Action Points, a Mythras Matters actual play podcast. In this episode, Temple of Death Part 3, using the classic fantasy rules, the rogue engages in combat, there is an interrogation, and the mage tracks the remaining bandits. My name is Inwils and I will be the GM for the game. I let the players introduce who they are and who they will be playing.
And now I have to stop saying nasty things about the North, right?
No, it's all right. I can still edit.
Which North?
At Wall.
Any North. Any and all Norths, yeah.
Korea, Carolina,
Pacific.
Definitely both of them.
Get my special effects up. I don't want to miss my sneak attack again. I tell ya.
I can't remember what happened last week, or yesterday.
Right, we go.
Start.
Right, 5 minutes starts now, Captain. 5 minutes starts now.
Gag him.
This is when everyone's like does their introduction very, very long, so that way I don't get to speak.
I'm gonna get your address and send you one of those gags with like the ball in the middle.
I already got a few. Which color?
No. Just no. Just
what
let
has a
you
squeaky toy in it? It's a,
Let's go hardcore and have no breathing holes.
I have to say that you're all in the correct place today. I don't have to move anyone.
Ooh.
So
It was
well
planned.
done. It was planned.
Very nice.
You must have come in to the chat exactly the same order as you did last week. So that's the only reason why everything would be in the same place. So well
This
done.
is fated. It's an omen for TPK.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I've decided to take you out one character at a time.
I know that's the best way to do it.
Let me just start my new character.
Divide and conquer.
Where is Caramore? I can't remember whether or not you were back at the house or not.
You were making stuff in your laboratory.
I think I am.
I think you were
doing
researching.
his research, spell research. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to figure out how to make the best cup of tea. I think it was.
And
Yes,
and
that's
was
far more important than learning magic missile.
well,
Yeah.
You were
was
in front of the
Bracey-
lady. You're in front of the lady who was on the couch. Said, "This is not the maid you were looking for."
Yeah. And where was Brasive? Because I know Ida's talking to Sweet Tunes downstairs.
Oh, I remember what happened now.
Yeah.
Well done, Mr. Pickles.
I honestly, Brasive, from what I remember, I could be wrong, and feel free to correct me, but I'm pretty confident he's just hyper focused on training that horse of the from the carriage, and I don't think he went with his main group at all.
Yeah, you were off looking at sickly horses.
Yeah,
You're just looking at a horse that you hoping and praying that you could actually ride into combat into. I
Exactly.
remember now. Yeah, I remember. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome on YouTube as well. We do have the chat up. Well, I do have the chat up on Twitch and YouTube, so I am monitoring that if you'd like to say hello. I had 25 people on YouTube this afternoon watching my stream. That
Sounds
was
dirty.
that was more than Twitch. I only had
Oh.
17 on Twitch, but I had 25 people on YouTube. That's very unusual. Very, very unusual. I might have to move and become a YouTuber instead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does that mean you have to like push your mum into a swimming pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's sort of thing.
I'm going to start making Donald Trump jokes.
Go out
and
there with
things.
like your camcorder and go into buildings and say, "You're not supposed to film here."
Or prank people by taking their hats in
Yep.
gym sessions and things like that. That's what.
And then run around a corner and changing your top and go, "No, it wasn't me."
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be able to run that.
And then
far.
buying a Cybertruck and decking it out with your face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah. So fun.
yeah. That is what's going to happen next week, everybody. That is what it's going to be like. And can I just say that I've now got the paper copy of
Ooh.
Classic Fantasy Imperative.
I need to get one of those.
Well,
Did
to be
they?
honest with you, I ordered it in April and it got
Oh, wow.
halfway through June. And I'm thinking, surely it should have been here there. So one of the advantages of having one of the game developers on your emailing list, I just email and he said, "Oh, it must have been lost in the post. We'll send you another one." And then they sent it tracking, Royal Mail tracking.
There we go. That's like my Temu orders. Where is it? Who knows?
And do you want to know? I had a tracking number and I kept putting it into the Royal Mail tracking thing. It kept saying, "We cannot track this parcel until it's been dispatched." So I thought,
right.
that's absolutely fine. And then it arrived.
Teleportation is the way forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was just sort of like, you can't track this. It can't. Oh, here it is. You know, and then it said.
That's why Royal Mail's losing like 300 million a day because of research in teleportation.
Yeah, exactly. And then it
Screw
said
your drones.
It then said that my tracking number was invalid because it had been delivered. You know, so
Yeah.
nice one. It was
You
good.
should have got nice
This is what comes
photos.
when they
from
hire
that.
ninjas to deliver the post.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am
So-
the Jack Black of ninjas.
Jack Black. Hi, Kaz. Kaz is in the Twitch chat. It's lovely to have you. The party are split up, and I created a really good YouTube video about when it is a good idea to split up the party, and I don't think anybody's watched it. And they split up the party, which is quite exciting for me as the GM. And we actually had a bit of combat last week and then stopped. Well, I hit somebody over the head last week. And then who was that? Was that Medivac?
Sorry, yes. I just
Bell's
found it funny.
Bell's giving you the stern look from up above.
Sneaking through a room, sneak, whack.
Whack. Yeah, so before we roll initiative, I'm going to allow the players an opportunity to say who they are and who they will be playing for the last adventure ever. I'm going to start off with Mr. Pickles. Did you see what I did there, Mr. Pickles?
Yes, I am Mr. Pickles, who is playing the gnome rogue that's about to die. I play Bell, our rogue, and I thought that I'd be sneaking around and stealing things, but apparently I've gotten myself into a bad situation.
Into a bit of a pickle.
A bit of a pickle, which is not the flavor that I was hoping for. And so Belle is overall a good thief character. She doesn't want to ruin things, but she's part of the Thieves Guild and she loves coins and operates as the group's bank. And with that, I'm just going to chuck the mic on over to Captain Kangaroo.
Hi everyone, I'm Captain Kangaroo. I play Brasive. He's the cutthroat. He's there to destroy and take names afterwards if he remembers even to take names. He's great at all weapons. He's a half orc. fighter. He's just huge and just able to clobber, and that's why it's very important for him to be there for Bell. But unfortunately, he's back at their place of residence working on a horse because that's what's important, really, is making sure he has a horse. I'm going to pass the mic to Medevac.
Hi all, I'm Medivac and I play Ida. She's a cleric of Nisa, a goddess of good and caring and protection for all people, mainly her friends. Yeah, she's come to this inn and she's trying to find out who's been stealing stuff from this town. We knew who it was. Well, some of us did. I didn't have a clue. But yeah, she's plated out, or chain mailed out, should I say. She tends to be more tanky than your average cleric. She casts some wonderful spells, and her favourite one is Spiritual Hammer.
And Flame Strike.
Oh yeah, Flame Strike's pretty cool too.
I think you're in Scale Mail, are you? Are you in
Scale
Chain?
Mail? That's
I don't know.
Chain. I might be wrong. That's Scale. You're right. Sorry, I'm just looking at my character. I'll get my
There you
character.
go.
So, other than not knowing what your armor is and not knowing what your favourite spell is, you're doing really well here.
Thank you. Yes. And with that, I shall pass on to Fishy.
Hello,
Fishy.
I'm Fishy. I am
What's
playing
that?
Caramel Blackmane. I do not know. I'm playing Caramel Blackmane, who is a magic user, and he is young, self-centered, terribly annoying. And my big role-playing challenge for the next few sessions is going to be really to determine how long it'll take him to notice Belle isn't there anymore.
Yeah,
Belle
Not
is
annoying
getting
you
it.
anymore.
And, and with that, I will hand you back to our illustrious game master, inwils.
Thank you. So just a quick recap of what's been going on. The party have come back from their last adventure and they found that there's a lovely bard called Sweet Tunes who has been telling their story, singing about it in the tavern. She lives in the tavern. She seems to be very friendly with the proprietor called Jack Tap, and everybody in the tavern, in the village of Snow Deep, loves her. She's super popular, but certain members of the party have taken an instant dislike to her and are blaming her for some thievery that has been going on in the town. Coupled with this, last adventure, a caravan arrived with a lady and her daughter, and they're looking for their son, and the party managed to connect it all together that the lady in waiting, her maid that got carried off by bandits, was the young lady that the party rescued from the giant frog in the hot springs. And so we're all sort of like still in, where's my iPad? I need my iPad because my adventure's on it. I just realized I don't have it.
Oh, is it behind your ear?
Yeah. Oh. Oh, found it. It was with the rule books. Right. I was trying to remember the names. What was the lady's name?
Was it Lady Veneer?
Veneer?
Veneer. Yes, well done. And the young girl's name?
Jessie?
Jess.
Jessie, yeah. And what was her son's name?
Ooh.
Alfonso.
Was it
No.
Bobbin, was it?
No.
Marcus.
Marcus, that's it. Right. I'm
Yeah,
just
he was
logging.
his Colin was a cleric of something.
I think it was
Summit.
Summit. Yeah, that's it. I'm in
That's
the
it, something.
wrong. I'm in the completely wrong game because I've been working on whatchamacallit?
Oblivion.
No,
In space?
M space. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm in completely the wrong game and I can't see it. Anyway, we left the battle. We left the battle with Ida's downstairs talking to Sweet Tunes about hair. If I'm
Yes, I was combing her hair, wasn't I?
I think you were combing her hair, and she wanted to
It's a
know,
ladies thing.
yeah, how you kept your hair so nice and pretty. And Caramore's in the library back at your house researching. Bracif is somewhere with a horse.
Yes.
Yeah, which I'm not too sure.
Which is more innocent than how it sounds.
Yeah. Regardless of the faces and the
But you can't
know,
go
the
to
side
Bracif's
eye
OnlyFans page.
the horse is giving Bracif, it's very professional.
Are you
No,
in
I'm
the
calling him Bracif the
consensual.
Great.
Are you in the town then? Are you in Snow Deep? You must be, because these people didn't give you a horse to take back to your manor house. I'm sure of it.
It was the
I
horse
think
and
there was
cart,
only
wasn't it?
that.
They
It was-
came in.
It's the
Yeah, it was
carriage
stabled
horse.
in town, wasn't it?
Yeah, so you're
Yeah.
just sort of like in a nearby stable trying
Well,
to.
he'll be the stable at the back of the inn. That's where we put it.
Yeah, so you're there stroking the horse and being a classic horse whisperer. And Belle,
such a pretty horse.
Belle,
No.
Hey,
I think
hey, baby.
let's delay Belle's death a little bit. I want to get more into this.
No, you don't.
We want more of
well,
the
no,
horse.
I am worried where it's going. So
would do so good in battle.
Yeah.
perhaps Bracif should have a new passion called horse whisperer.
You look good in this
You don't
party.
even need a saddle.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
You look good without a
I
saddle.
regret this actually. I'm full of regret right now.
Okay. However, Belle decided, well, the party decided that they wanted to check out whether or not the bout of thievery in Snow Deep was due to Sweet Tunes. So they concocted a very clever plan in the sense that Sweet Tune came down to talk to Ida about hair because Sweet Tunes had said to Ida how she loved her hair. And in the meantime, Belle crept upstairs to the rooms using her magical ring of magic detection. She noticed one of the doors had what looked like a magic mouth spell on it. So she went through one of the other doors into a room, climbed along in between the two windows and went in to Sweet Tune's room. And if I remember correctly, you saw in there a jewelry box that had gone missing. And as you went over to the dresser, you had a massive whack on your head as the lady who looked very similar to Sweet Tunes appeared behind you and whacked you on the head. So the first thing, now, can I please remind you all that each combat round is 5 seconds. Okay, so just keep that in your head about what you could do. Caramore and Caramore, you just sit and research, but before you do that,
I can't be more than 20,000 combat rounds out.
yeah,
What's the problem?
before you do that, I do want you to roll a perception check.
Ooh.
As you hear a whack-a-doo as he gets hit in the back of the head.
Yeah. Oh, the tension in this.
It's gonna be the third sister, and you're gonna have your
right.
own one versus one fight.
Okay,
Yep.
that is good. I'll tell you what happens with that in a second. So I think what we'll do, Belle, is that if we roll, let me just clear my turn order. Let's roll initiative so we have that ready if we need to.
Yeah, I'll take my best roll possible.
Cool.
Nice 27. Oh.
Damn.
Oh, what? I only rolled a 7 on my D10. That's not good. Okay, then. You don't have any weapons out, Belle, but I have what appears to be a sap, a small club-like implement, and you feel this blow on your back of your head, and you turn round, and there's this lady stood there with long blue flowing hair. She seems to be clad out in what appears to be leather armor. And yeah, she is stood in front of you. What would you like to do?
Does she look as if she's preparing to hit me again? Like, is the body language that she's aggressive, or is she like pulled back?
You can roll a perception check to insight. Roll insight.
Ah, darn, my eyes got wide for a second and I couldn't use them. Oh.
Ooh, buddy.
All you know is that she's just whacked you on the head. She doesn't look happy as you look up at her, because she is roughly the size or height of Sweet Tunes, and she definitely doesn't look happy. It looks like she might have caught somebody stealing in her room.
Stealing my stolen goods? Okay. I would like to draw my short sword.
Okay.
And I would like to, if I can, I wanted to use my language of Thieves' Cant to suss out if she's part of the guild.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, just so you know, I'm moving you down to this little room down at the bottom. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is roughly how big the room is. This is your dresser. Okay. That is the door out into the corridor, and that is the window outside. This does not exist. It's just I just thought it would be interesting. So your short sword slids out of. It's a shame you're not using your sling, but never mind.
Disengage and use the sling. You absolutely need to.
No, you guys should be bullying me if I'm like, I pull out my sling. I take one turn to reload it.
Reload it.
You're gonna really
second
hurt
turn.
in a minute. Oh, it's coming.
Oops,
Have
I
you ever
dropped it.
thought
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Gotta start over.
Have you thought of preloading your sling?
Yeah,
I think that's generally how I start combat.
Have you considered doing a very long monologue, so that way it distracts from the fact that you're using your sling?
you could actually have a stick with a whole load of slings already loaded, and just take it off the edge of the stick and fling it
That's
up.
right. Fling it.
She's going to try to hit you again. This is not a sneak attack, you'll be pleased to know. And yet she takes a blow to you, or she tries to take a blow. You may either parry, or you may evade,
I'm gonna
or
parry.
take the hit.
Inwils.
We'll see.
Oh, nice. How big?
Don't say it.
I know.
It says medium.
Yeah. So believe it or not, short sword, medium. Yeah. My
See, it's in the hand of the beholder.
my sap, by the way, means we're actually in short reach at the moment, just so you know, because I'm closer to you.
Oh.
And I think the reach of your weapon is medium. and the reach of
I
my
actually don't see the
weapon
reach.
is small. No,
Oh.
it's a Mythras rules. That's not normally in classic fantasy, but I can't be swapping and changing all the time, so I'm just implementing it. How big's your weapon? Medium.
Yeah.
Weapon. Oh, damage reduction. So your weapon is a medium. Medium. So you will actually absorb all the damage as it comes into you from this little sap being successfully parried. And we go straight into. And what did you say in Thieves Can't, by the way, or can't? Thieves can't do things.
I wanted to basically have a question be, are you part of the guild?
Okay.
Which would probably be something like, did the horse eat the hay, or is it rotting? Some sort of thing
some
only
sort of,
somebody from the guild would know as the
Got
code
you.
phrase.
Innocuous statement here.
Yeah, got you. It's combat round 1, turn 2, and you've got your short sword drawn, and it's your action.
Well, if she's not responding to my question, then I'm gonna give an angry little tap back.
Ooh, you tap away.
Love tap, isn't it?
Oh,
Yes, it is Medivac.
I love tap and a half.
So my
Deflect it.
Come on, give me a chance. Give me a chance.
If Quick Fingers gets a 100 here,
She can use a point of luck to make you re-roll it.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. She's going to evade and roll off to one side if she can. Right, so she does evade, but with the opposed roll, yours wins, which means that you will have a special, a hit location, and a damage.
and that special can be critical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it certainly could.
Thinking
Not that killing somebody in that room.
It's critical for the story.
I've got a doctor downstairs. I'm not too concerned. But I would like to get her to stop for a moment and choose peace. And
Bypass armor.
well, she's got leather armor, and it's probably magical. But even then, just max damage would probably be better than bypassing armor. Be 6 damage.
Decisions.
Unless the armor's 4.
Well, I wanted max damage and disarm, but that's not in the cards right now. So I'm going to go with...
You can still do disarm.
Oh, you
don't have to take critical.
Actually, I want to do disarm here because my critical makes that very hard for you. So yeah, I'll go with disarm.
Let's just say this elf lady, she's lucky she's not attacking Brasive right now. Just saying.
Yes, incredibly lucky. I hit in the 2, probably a leg shot.
Yeah, because you are quite small. Just so you know, so I make a combat style roll versus your original roll, which is a 1. Each step in size of weapon increases the target difficulty by 1 grade if if larger. So because your short sword is bigger than my little sap, then when I roll, I'm rolling at hard. Okay, because obviously it's bigger and harder for me to resist. So this is my combat roll. Sap your head. Chunk. So
So close to be able to reverse it and win.
I know, that's what I was looking at. So she you managed to knock. I need some damage.
You do need some damage. Yes.
Oh, nice. Max
And
I got
Nice.
max damage and
Yeah.
actually I didn't get max damage because I rolled a 5 and a 1. An 8 would be my max damage with my damage bonus.
6 in the 2. So,
Your legs off, man.
Catch a little artery right there. Make you
yeah,
stop running from me.
Yeah, you definitely feel that your short sword slices through the leather armor in that place, and show you can see that there's some kind of a little major wound there, but she still seems to be up
A
and
little major wound.
yeah.
Has she dropped a weapon?
Yes, her weapon is now on the ground, and which she is, and it's her turn. I think.
Yeah.
So on this one, she will pick up her disarmed weapon. As we go to turn 3, it's
I'm out of actions.
so am I. So that's all right. So we're going up now to turn 2, round 1. Oh, she does use her free action in the last round, by the way, and she doesn't seem to respond to your sign language. What she curses you and calls you a thieving little gnome runt. There might have been other.
That's rich.
There would
Neat.
probably be some other flowery language in there, but I'm not going to say it. But you can imagine it. No, Captain, you do not need to say those words. You could just leave them. Okay? Is he eating? He's very quiet.
He is eating.
Oh, he's eating.
We forgot to take him out of timeout.
If it doesn't move, it's food.
I can watch your nay all day.
Oh, that's right. He's out of the stable.
He sat in the stable eating with the horse. Belle.
Okay, it's my free action. I want to respond. In a
Hypocrite.
I want to say,
I just read.
drop your weapon, thief, and surrender.
Okay then, and it's your action. So what
Well,
you
on a-
would need, what you would
go for it.
need to do that is use your special to compel surrender.
Oh yeah, this might be the one time that would be possible out of
Yeah.
the hundreds of times we've tried it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go for that 28. And
Okay.
I'll use a point of luck to
To
reverse,
reverse
this.
it. Well done.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that
yeah.
82.
Nice.
This is where you'll
so-
get a 7. A critical 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in situations like this, it would be foolish for me to evade, because that's an opposed roll. Because if I do a differential roll, I just need to
That's right.
succeed. Yeah. So here's her parry. Yeah, and she parries your attack now because
Size
your-
difference.
yeah. So yours is medium, and mine is small. I always get this round the wrong way. Medium. Yeah, your attack is medium and mine is small, so I will absorb half of your damage, but neither of us have a special, so I just need a hit location and damage.
Dang it. Hit location damage. Okay. Well, she can decide if she wants to live or not. That's not on me. A 7.
Oh, you're going for the abdomen shot.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm crazy.
Crazy. Don't make Belle crazy.
Otherwise,
Oh,
I'll give you
and-
another.
Originally higher than that.
Another
We're gonna
six.
make that 6-pack into a 7-pack.
Yeah, you feel your blade slide through the leather armor once more, and just snick the skin below.
That's the second time you've done exactly 6 damage.
Yeah, I'm good at it.
And
I
that
wonder what it was
means
this
that
time.
it's her turn to try to hit you. She gets a 14.
I'll go ahead and give it a parry. 56.
Yeah, and so because you've got the larger weapon, you will absorb all the damage on that. And this, I hope the rest of you weren't planning on doing anything else tonight, because
I'm trying my best to defeat her, guys. I'm trying.
Here's some hay for you, baby.
The rest of you will be hoping for, you'll be wishing for the sling next round. Belle, you're up.
I think I'm out of action points.
I think you might
because I
have
attacked to
one.
defend. Oh no, I'd have one more.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah,
in that
because
case,
I've got one more as well, so we both got 3.
I'm going to try and compel your surrender with a 75.
Okay then, so that's you hitting. She will use her last action point to try to
Go ahead and
parry the blow. Right, she does fail. She
Use that
does.
point of luck.
Say again?
Use that point of luck. I know you want to. I know she has some up her sleeve. I'm guessing. I don't actually know.
You're guessing.
Because that'd be a nice 69 out of 70.
Dude.
These flies are definitely not just attracted to your smell.
Oh my lord.
Just to let
Let's
you
close
know,
the window really quick.
compel surrender. You force the surrender of a helpless or disadvantaged target, disarmed, lying prone, unable to regain footing, or suffering a serious wound. She's going to use her point of luck.
Yeah, I gotta inflict some more damage.
And did I put? Oh, sorry. I think I put that on. Did I put it on yours or mine? Let me just pop it in there too. Yeah. So she'll swap it round to block your attack, but I will take some damage. No special though.
Right in your 8.
Abdomen again.
Yeah.
Oh,
5. Or a 3.
Right. That actually causes a bit of pain, and you see her wince. And what was your attack roll?
75. That's
75.
a great one for somebody's endurance to fight against.
It is with my endurance.
Heck yeah.
If only had 92
Yeah.
insurance.
I'm actually going to use another point of luck
And reverse it.
and roll it again.
You got this.
I feel lucky.
No!
Oh, nice.
So close.
Yes, so she's still up. She's still up, and
Oh, I thought it was against my 75.
oh yes, it is. Sorry, yeah, I got excited.
You almost got the critical.
That's what I was looking at. I thought, oh, I got a critical. Okay, so that means that she actually falls to the ground, unconscious.
Oh.
Looks like
Oh,
someone fainted after seeing you.
Yeah. And all you hear from the courtyard is, give me some of that flower fertilizer, baby.
Have you seen my new symbol for unconscious? You might have to zoom in to see it. It's a little head with little things whirling around. It's cool, isn't it?
There you go.
Yeah, so you hit her once again in the abdomen, and she lets out quite a sound, and she falls to the ground. She definitely seems to be unconscious.
So while this is all going on, can I make a perception check to see if I hear any of this sound of battle?
You won't hear it because it's actually on the back of the, and you're at the front.
Yeah, I'm at the
and
front door. Yeah.
these are two rogues,
Mm.
and so there was probably hardly any.
Yes, with their padded weapons.
Yeah. With their slippers on so they don't.
Yeah.
Yes. So Belle. Oh, meanwhile, Caramon, you're back in the actual house, and you are, let me just zoom back to Jezebel's house, because you are in the ground floor, are you not? In your library, which I think...
Whichever room the library was. It's the one with the books in, isn't it? Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. And you're actually down here looking at books, and there's a window near you, and you hear outside, over this, on the opposite side of this wall, some muttering. You can't get what they are saying through the window and through the wall. You think there's more than one, and they're talking in very hushed tones about something. You're not too sure what, but it doesn't sound positive, if that makes sense. Meanwhile, Belle, you now have an unconscious lady on the floor in front of you that you've injured 1, 2, 3 times with your sword. What would you like to do? Were you muted?
I was muted. I also had to step away for a second. But you were asking me what I wanted to do now that I've knocked this lady out.
Yeah, she's out cold on the floor. She's bleeding from 3 sword cuts that you added to her body. You've got a bit of a bump on the back of your head, but that's it.
Yeah. I'm an artist, is what you're saying. So I'm gonna look for something I can use to tie her hands up because I want to immobilize her. And then once I've done that, then I want to leave this room the way I entered. I want to grab the jewelry box, leave the way I entered, and return to Ida to let her know that
Okay, so
that I found the truth.
So I think you roll an athletics roll, isn't it, when you're
Yes.
climbing?
And I have this guy. It makes it so if there's a penalty level, it's reduced by 1.
Yeah, so it would be formidable because unless you've got something that you could put the jewelry box in.
I'm hoping I had a small bag of some kind that it might be able to fit in, but if I don't have that.
So let's say that the roll would be hard. So it'll reduce it to a standard success. That's all you need to do.
I could just take a single ring from that box, because if I remember correctly, the box that was going to be paid to us was a box full of rings and jewelry.
It was.
That's correct, yep.
I want to open it and point it away from my face just in case it's a trap or fake.
Is that after I said, oh, we're going to put some lock picking and traps into the next game?
No, I have a feeling that there's trickery afoot. I'm going to side eye it quick fingers, and then I'm going to open it to see if there's any trap or if there's even anything in it, if it was just made to look like the thing I was looking for.
So roll a perception check for me, please.
Can I use my big eyes?
Yeah, you can do. It's just whether or not you notice something.
That's terrible.
Okay, so you face the jewelry box away from you and you open it, and nothing seems to happen, but you do see it's still full of rings, and amulets and bracelets, etc. The other thing that you do notice, and you are aware of this because you are a rogue, you're a bit confused where this person was hiding. There's not enough shadows to hide in. Looking around, you figured the only place they could have been hiding in this room is under the bed. But if this lady was under the bed, you don't think it would have got the jump on you at all.
Do I see anything magical on her as I have my ring equipped and I kind of give a look over? Like, does she have any ring of invisibility? I wouldn't know if it was, but maybe a funny ring.
She doesn't seem to have any magical items on her at all.
She barely has any blood left because she's bleeding
Yeah.
out. But,
Could you just roll a brawn roll for me, please, just to see how tight these bounds are?
Okay.
Oh no. Yeah, you sort of like make an attempt to sort of like tie her up, and you go out the window. Are you as you shimmy across from one window to the other, you can hear Brasive from the stable cooing this horse and saying romantic.
you have such a nice mane.
Yeah.
I wish I had a mane.
And as you
Brasive does have a mane.
as you slip into the other room, and
Did
then
you want my athletics roll?
yes, please. Yeah.
I can't just skip the chance to fall out of a window. 44 out of 60.
Yeah, you're fine. So is the plan to sort of like just head on down?
Yeah, the plan is to return to Ida subtly.
So you can see Ida and Sweet Tunes busily talking over at the far side.
I'm stood behind her and I've got her hair in my hands and I'm trying to braid them as I go and I'm massaging her scalp a little bit and I'm just putting some oil in it.
She's sort of like, oh, your fingers are so that is so nice, Ida. Where I thought your hands would be full of calluses and rough skin from your battling. You have
my goddess sees fit to keep them fresh, new, moisturized, and rejuvenated.
Yeah, and you did you take the whole box or just something from it? I can't remember.
I was thinking about just taking a ring, but I feel like the box is the part that was most identifiable, so that would have been what I would like to have brought.
Yeah. So while that's happening and Belle comes down the stairs and Brasive is in the stable, he's actually managed to lay the horse down now on the hay, and he sort of like got its head and its neck sort of like resting on his chest and arms at the moment. He's stroking it. And Caramel, what would you like to do? You're back in the house.
I think, under the circumstances, I would like to get my stick and creep outside to find out what's going on.
Ooh.
I'm going to actually do something, which is not like Caramel at all.
It's not. We'll have to actually...
But there's no one else he can send to do it at the moment, so he'll have to do it himself.
No, I thought you were going to hide, to be honest with you.
I'm a little worried that I didn't prepare burning hands this morning. But
so you actually heard them here. That's where you heard them. So yeah, where would you like to go?
So
you'll need to.
There is only one gate, isn't there? So if I want to go out, it's going to have to be down through the front gate to creep around.
or you can climb.
Unless I try climbing the tree or something.
You can.
I don't fancy
climb,
climbing the wall. I'm not that good at climbing.
I mean, you can also. It depends what you want to. If you want to hear them clear, better, you could actually try to stealth round and keep crouched down.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll just try and overhear them from inside the wall.
Okay.
I take it the windows don't open.
No.
No, so
Yes.
it'll have to be
Or they are open
round and
permanently.
out through the door.
Yeah, so you head out through the main door, and you actually, I'm assuming you're sort of like crouching down and
Yes,
moving.
Definitely going sneaky as much as I can.
Yeah. Do you have a stealth skill?
Of course I do. It's one of the basic skills. Everybody has a stealth skill. It's just not necessarily a good one.
Sorry, are you good at stealthing? Or...
Apparently not based on that roll.
Or you could use a point of luck.
Although, actually, yeah, if I spend a point of luck, that suddenly becomes a successful stealth, doesn't it? So I think I will spend a point of luck.
Okay.
Just reverse that, yeah.
Reverse it, so it'd be 26 out of 40. So you actually get to where you are at the moment when you hear the voices, and they seem to have moved down woods, and they're sort of like just near where you are. There seems to be 3 or 4 people talking, and they are in hushed tones, but you can make they're not whispering. They seem to be completely just low voices, and they seem to be you catch moments of conversation through the wall, and the words that you get are things like, "Do you think it's this one?" And somebody else says, "Looks abandoned." Somebody else says, "Maybe you can just go and hit the village." And somebody else says, "Yeah, make them pay. Yeah, maybe we'll find them in the village." And yeah, that's what you hear as you're crouched there.
Oh dear.
Fireball, mother.
If I only had a flame strike.
Yeah. Would you like to do anything?
Yeah, I think. Where is the village in relation to our gates? Do our front gates point towards the village or away from the village?
Yeah. So your front gates are pointing to the village. So they would be heading, their movement would be down towards the village. Roll an insight check for me.
Roll an insight check. Okay, I'll roll an insight check.
Yeah, using your superb insight, you figured that if they were in the forest, they've probably come out the forest the same way as you have, and definitely probably going to the village. And
so if I sneak down to the gates, I should be able to see them if they're heading on towards the village now. I should be able to see who it is if I hide down by the gates and peer through. So I shall do that, find out who these people are.
Okay, so they come into view, and you've seen them before, or you've seen somebody very similar to them before. They seem to be the rest of the bandit group.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So they were looking for us. Unfortunately, the state of the house has led them to believe we're not here. That's handy.
Yeah. And they seem to be. They talked about them. They didn't say the party that killed my friends or anything. Yeah. They said they.
I'm pretty sure we're them.
Could be. Or it could be the people in the caravan.
That's the other option,
or it could be
but
just
Caramel
some
is self-centered, so he's automatically going to assume it means us. Or him,
Bracif,
really.
Bracif, you're with a horse. Just quieten yourself.
What if they're here for the horse?
Well, then you'll have to deal with them, Vasif.
Meanwhile, back in Snowed In, the Snowed In, should I say? Belle, you come down the stairs, and I'm just going. Is that where you want to be, Ida, or do you want?
Yeah,
to
I was
be
distracting
here?
her from. No, well, either way, I was behind her, distracting her from looking at the stairs.
Okay, so let's put you there then, and then she's facing that way.
That way. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and you're
Well,
behind her.
I'd rather be there, so she's facing down south, down
Oh yeah,
Bracif and
you can do.
Caramore,
No,
who are miraculously there.
It's a mirage.
It is.
Yeah. Belle, what would you like to do?
Well, I don't like how central everybody's conversations are between my friends that are nearby. Kind of wish Caramore was here.
It's not often you'll hear that.
I know.
There's a reason I'm always trying to annoy you rather than them.
And
go
Caramore, you didn't hear that, remember? You didn't hear.
No, I know.
That one time Belle is nice to you.
I'll make my way over to Ida quickly.
Yeah.
And I'll try to get her attention if I can. And gesturing towards the jewelry box, probably like trying to peek out of my
So
bag.
where do you want to go? So they're both sort of like facing southward on the map, down on the map. You can even come round this way if you wanted, you know. It's
Actually,
up to
I
you.
probably want to be kind of behind her. And I'd show Ida the box from.
Yeah, so Belle comes creeping down. She sort of like opens her little bag and shows you the jewelry box.
Okay, so I'm gonna like open my eyes a little bit surprised. I'm then gonna get her hair. I'm gonna wrap it round one of my arms, and then I'm gonna pull it straight back if possible.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
That
yeah. Roll me an unarmed combat.
what
I'm personally against this action. I feel like this would hurt.
Yeah, if Bracif is against this, what goddess did you serve again?
No, Bracif wouldn't care.
Goodness, don't steal from my friends.
Thinks it would hurt.
Unarmed.
Oh, it's all right. I didn't do very well.
Yeah,
But-
you give
But
it.
I will use a point of luck to re-roll it, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Your
Better.
goddess is looking down, and Sweet June goes, "Ow! What the?" And she sort of like struggles up and sort of like turns around
My
and faces
apologies,
you.
my lady. I slipped on this piece of fish on the floor.
She said, "You tried to yank my hair out."
That's how you strengthen the follicles.
Roll deceit roll for me, please.
Oh, that's not good for me.
That would be good for me. Because I'm a fun little liar.
Oh, I get a free point though.
Oh yes, you do. Nice one.
Thank you.
And
And I might use a point of luck to reverse that if that's okay.
you can't.
Can't I do that?
No. And so she sort of like, she sort of, you try to convince it that it was an accident. She just said, "No, it was not. You did it completely on purpose." Oh, from one
Unbelievable.
extreme to the other. And she sort of like stands up and says, "I always thought we could be friends, and you're just a meanie."
And you and your sister are thieves.
I'm more than the meanie. I'm justice.
She
Du-du-du-du-du.
she looks at you, Belle, as if to say, and she says, "I don't have a sister."
Then who's the lady who looks just like you that is in your room?
She says, "I have no idea at all."
A likely story. She's laying there bleeding out on your floor right now.
should you get somebody to help her?
Oh yeah, Ida. So I have something I need you to help me with.
Okay, Belle, I'm a bit concerned about this lady here. She's very deceitful. And
If Sweet Tune speaks the truth, then why don't you lead us to your room and you'll see for yourself?
She says, I will do that, definitely. And she starts to head towards the...
keep your hands where we can see them, Sweet Tooth.
She says, these clerics are getting so nasty nowadays.
You will convert.
The rogues are so friendly.
Just cover themselves in saying how nice they are, and then they yank your hair, and they're just so mean. She goes up the stairs, and she goes along the corridor, and she goes towards. If you remember, there was 3 doors in the back and 3 in the front. Yep. Yeah,
I went in the middle one, I believe.
A middle back with the. So she goes to the middle, and she turns left. And she opens the door, and she looks in, and sort of like says, "I can see no dead body in here."
Wait, so we went into a different room than the one I was in with the lady?
Turn around.
Yeah, she went in. You can see in this room, you can see that there's her loots there. You can see some of the clothes that she wears on the evening to, when she dresses up to perform, etc. The bed looks like it's been slept in. And she sort of like says, there is my loot. There are my clothes.
There is a bit of confusion here, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Ida, it's a different room. I thought that the other room was her room because they look the same. Not the best thing to admit, but we got to go to the other room before she dies. I stabbed her multiple times.
Would you mind opening the room opposite for us, please?
She says, none of the rooms are locked.
Well, just open the door then, please.
Hold on, it's going to be loud. So,
and she goes to the other door and she opens it, and there's a like that sounds on the across the whole of the tavern as the magic mouth screams out. Caramel, you're way off, and even you hear it slightly, just sort of like, and you, Caramel, sorry, Braceve, you're in the stable at the back, and you hear this almighty scream come from inside the tavern.
Braceve will calm the horse down, make sure.
Oh yes, the horse was.
Oh, shh. It's okay. It's okay.
Telepathically, the horse says, "Please don't leave me. Stay and stroke me. Don't leave me alone."
I know.
Stop touching me.
Now
do a willpower check.
All is well.
I will let you ride on me later, if you stay.
Oh yeah.
I don't like. It seems like you're getting a passion for horses.
Yeah, so the horse goes. This reminds me is when I grew up.
I'm gonna be
in the cleric house.
One of those horse dudes. Like a horse girl, but
does Braceve want to leave his horse?
He's gonna have to because he heard a scream.
More like, can you leave the horse?
He doesn't want to. He just feels like he's a devotion to, killing people, and screams usually involve happen around people that should be killed.
Is the plan to go round to the front and in, or are you somehow going up to the second floor?
I'd probably go up to the front. Yeah,
okay.
and run up.
Jump on the back of the horse.
So you leave the horse's
into the
May. You leave the horse's May only partly braided, and you sort of like rush round in your stubby little legs as fast as you.
Stubby little, they're huge and strong and full of brawn.
I've got the 2-inch legs.
And you head round, and as you get to the front of the tavern, you notice more people have started, including Jack, Tap, who was sat outside. He looks like he's been down to see Bobbin Cotton, the tailor, and he's rushing back. And there's people collecting outside, congregating, sorry, outside. And they're all going, did you hear that? There was a scream. And somebody said, I hope it's not Sweet Tunes. I really do hope it's not Sweet Tunes. And
Out of the way. My axe is thirsty.
As this screen goes off and the door opens, Sweet Tunes sees on the floor this body that is unconscious and bleeding out. And she sort of like looks at it and she screams again. But not as loud as the magic mouth spell went off, and it's more of a little whimper, and she sort of like shuffles back a bit.
I will look at her and then say, now do you see our confusion?
And she sort of like, you hear her almost like reach for her breakfast, but she manages to keep it in. And she sort of like points to this person and says, who has killed this person?
First off, she's still probably alive. And Ida, could you fix her up?
She turns to you and Ida and says, someone's been torturing her. They've tied her hands and then cut her.
Okay. Tied her hands is very that's a loose definition of that. It's more of I draped a blanket on her wrists. Yes. And she hit me in the head first. And in there, they're stolen goods. She was stealing from the town. I found the thief. I tried using reason. She did not want to back down, and so I knocked her out. So what? I'm short and all I can hit are her legs.
3 points of magic. Yeah.
Not torture.
Nice. I think it just
you just hear Brasive downstairs. Where are they?
You also notice that she's got a wart on one of her thumbs, which is cured as well. From the cure like wound spell, because I think it does that. Does it just do point of damage to a location with serious or major? So she has a serious wound in her abdomen from the slicing up.
But that was just brought down to a 0, wasn't it? Like, I wasn't doing that.
Yeah. So what will happen?
Yeah. So points damage to a location with a serious or major wound. So that's all right.
Yeah. So it'll do 1 point of damage, 1 point of healing, which will bring it up from a serious to a minor in this incident. In this instance,
from major to minor.
See, I mean that's good that she wasn't fighting Brasive, because
she could have.
Yeah.
She could have been armless and legless her entire life.
I can't fix marmalade.
I lost that one. Brasive, you come burling in and say to people, stand back, let me through. And you go in and just roll your perception.
Rolling that perception. Time to open your eyes and let those ears stuff. And I don't open my perception.
No, and you sort of like go in and you sort of like enter the bar. You snowed in, and as you pass Jack Tap, he just sort of like looks at you as he goes in, and he sort of like says, "Try not to get the hay all over the floor," and because you've been in the stable, so you've got a bit of hay and straw.
I'll put my axe at him and say, "Hay is for horses."
You can't.
I thought you just look at him and say, "Hey."
Brasive, you can't see anybody downstairs, so you use your brain cell and decide to check upstairs.
The
'cause
dudes
that's where-
upstairs might be that. Yeah, unless there's a downstairs. Should I check the downstairs? No.
No, there's no
No, okay.
basement.
You have
So
to
you
make a roll for that.
Obviously, the barkeep couldn't afford a basement. Kind of
so
cheap.
you go upstairs and you see Ida and Belle and Sweet Tunes. Sweet Tunes looks quite pale. It looks like she might have just resisted being puking up her breakfast. And you can see Ida, and Ida's got a few strands of blue hair in her hand for where she tried to scalp.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
And yeah, so you, as you approach Brasive and Ida and Belle, you hear this as well. The lady on the floor makes almost like a oh, like that, and you figure that she's probably coming around.
Brasive, apprehend this thief.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted by animals.
Brasive doesn't understand the
do smell
word
like horses.
apprehend.
Yeah, so he just lifts up his axe, ready to chop her head off.
No, not axe rehend. That's not even a word.
Axe
She-
rend?
Just
I'm rend.
bear wrestle with her. Well, no, actually, I don't like how you're going to misinterpret that. Just grab her with your hands so she doesn't run away.
Stop staring at the horse paintings.
Brace's gonna attempt to grab her hands and lift her up
Yeah, so
off the ground.
she's still lying on the floor. So just
okay.
make me a brawn check.
Not
You're-
unarmed.
No, because you're not planning on doing damage, aren't you? You're just lifting her up.
Oh,
Brasive.
I'll use a point of luck so I'm not embarrassing myself and re-roll this bad boy.
Go for it.
Let's.
100.
Oh no!
Do not fart on the suspect.
You take a little bit. She seems to, as you go down and you try to pick up, she sort of like wiggles a bit, and you, even in this wounded state, Brasive, she is quite nimble, and she sort of like manages to stand up and sort of like back away from you. She's unarmed. She has no weapons in front of her, and she uses her left arm to sort of like grasp on pressure on the sword slices, the sword nicks that Belle did, and she holds the other hand out, and she sort of like looks straight at you. Brasive said, "Don't." She says, "Don't come any closer."
I'm gonna come a little closer. He's gonna attempt. Do any of us have any rope or anything on us?
I definitely don't.
Do I? I'm
Ida
any
quickly,
in the room.
Ida quickly plats
The hair.
Sweet. You could probably rip some material off or something like that.
Yeah, I'll do that. I rip material. Just bind her hands behind her back.
Yes. Give me a brawl.
Or actually, I'm to do it this way, and then probably carry her out.
Okay, so give me a brawn roll first.
Oh my god! Come on! Yeah,
There you go.
Yes,
You know
Yeah.
rope.
I know rope.
You reach out and rip a piece of cloth off Belle. And go, yeah, and sort of go forward and sort of like she sort of like backs up at you, sort of like you're quite forceful with her, and she sort of like you pull out her hands and wrap it round and pull it tight, and she looks Ida, she looks a bit pale when all this is happening. She does look like she does have pointed ears, by the way, that you notice now. Brasive, you've got hold of her. She's pretty near slumped into your arms.
Okay.
At this point, Belle would point towards the stash of treasure and be like, "This is where I found the jewelry box that was stolen. She's been stealing from this town, and we almost blamed it on you, Sweet Tunes. This is the evidence. She's a thief, and when I was trying to talk with her, she just kept swinging a sap at me. And it's probably on the floor somewhere."
Sweet Tunes looks at you, Belle, and says, "But you have the jewelry box."
I just found. Well, I had to bring evidence so that Ida would know that I found something. I took it from that stash.
You broke in?
How
I'm
close
tiny.
does she look to Sweet Tunes?
Say again, sir.
How closely does she look like Sweet Tunes?
So the pictures are accurate.
Got it.
So
I mean, Sweet Tunes, you can see how we got confused and why I thought, sister. And
so if anything, Sweet Tunes, they're very similar. Sweet Tunes definitely has an air of elegance round her. Her skin's a little bit paler. She doesn't seem to be wearing armor. She just seems to be wearing fancy clothes. While this other person, who's called Quick Fingers, because you've seen that, seems to be clad out in leather. She seems more rough and less refined. If anything, she seems definitely to be
A yin to her yang.
Yeah, but they do have an air of similarity between them. Just before we go any further, I'd just like to nip back to Caramore at the house. And your suspicions are correct. They actually come down the side of the house, and then you see there's definitely 4 of them. They're clad out exactly in the same outfits as the bandits. You do hear one of them says, "If I find that person who incinerated my brother, he is not going to die quickly."
Right. Okay.
Cowboys
I'm
is
getting back into the house.
very quiet.
Yes, I'm going back into the house to fetch Billy. I want a bear on my side.
And they head off into. They seem to be going towards the village. Jack Tapp is there now, and you've got this woman in some kind of a fire person's lift, I'm assuming, abrasive. You've flung her like a sack of potatoes over your shoulders, and Sweet Tunes is with Ida, and Belle, you're sat there with the jewelry box. What would you like to do?
Brace is probably going to go down to one of these rooms down below, either this one or the one across. He's going to essentially create an interrogation room.
So let's go into this room here.
Right.
Let's bring her down, and then because you will be able to move her. Let me just clear that off. Okay, and are you going in there? You can move your token in there. And Belle, what's going to be your plan?
I want to make sure that Brasive doesn't kill our suspect. So I'm going to go in to make sure she doesn't get tortured.
Okay.
Like real tortured, not me defending myself.
So
Subjective, right?
Sweet Tunes sort of like collapses into Jack Tapp's arms, and she's, "Oh, Jack, I need something. I feel rather queasy, as if I'm going to faint." And Jack sort of like lowers her down to sit on the floor. She does look rather pale, and she sort of like, he says, "You stay there, Sweet Tunes. I'll give you a good shot of brandy," or whatever they have, and heads down. He follows you down as you all take this person into the room, and that seems to be a good time to stop. It's 8:30. So when we come back, we will start the interrogation of Quick Fingers
Yeah.
in a bar room, and we'll see whether or not Caramore and Billy can take on. Are you planning on taking on the bandits?
No, my plan was to get Billy and tell him that we need to go to the town and warn them bandits are coming.
Oh, and then ride him. Is that what you get?
That wasn't my idea, but I suppose it could work. That'd be an interesting thing. How would Bracef react to Caramore turning up, not riding a horse, but riding a bear?
Yes. What's your ride skill?
What is this thing you call ride? Actually, 32. It's not that
Oh,
bad.
it's not bad. Not bad.
You're
Okay.
better than
Not as
me.
good as mine, but it's fine.
So thank you for watching and supporting up to this point. We're going to take a 50-minute break. We'll be back at 1:45. So in the
You say
meantime,
50.
15.
I thought it said 50.
No, definitely 15. We'll be back 1:45, and yeah, take the time to go away and grab some snacks and drinks, and we'll see you back here real soon. Was that a sneeze, or was it just a cough?
I don't know.
I feel like
Okay.
you were self-censoring.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I feel really bad.
Nice. Okay, we'll be back in 15 minutes. Are you doing Father's Day tomorrow, Mr. Pickles?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what we decided on.
Well, that's good because it doesn't interfere with our gaming schedules.
Oh yeah, it wasn't up to me. Well, like when everybody's going to do that, it's just sort of like, this is when we think we're going to do this. You'll show up. It's like, yeah.
Nice.
So that's where it was like they were talking about Saturday, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna warn the boys.
I do have a dad, but I haven't seen him since I was 11. So we don't do Father's Day in our house.
That would make sense.
They produce cards now that actually says to the best mom on Father's Day, if that makes sense. So we often
Yep,
send
that makes sense.
mom one of those. So which is nice.
Well, your sister had children, yes? Or am I thinking
One
of somebody
them,
else?
Yeah. No. One of my
Oh.
sister has 3 children, each to a different husband.
Oh. Well, triple the Father's Day,
Yeah.
I guess.
One, her eldest, who's like 20, lives with her dad, only because my sister lives out in the outback, and that niece is very much a party goer. So
You have an outback?
well, like up where we live in the north, you have things like the moors. So once you get up there, it's barren and bleak, and she lives up there. She used to. Not
to mention being haunted by spectral dogs covered in phosphorus, if you believe Arthur Conan Doyle.
Her third daughter, her third child, who's a daughter, she belongs. Her dad is a farmer, and my sister really likes being on a farm. She loves doing farm animal stuff and things like that. She kept sheep for a while as well. So she's now single, but with 3 kids, and 2 of them still see their dad and the other one doesn't. And then my other brother, so not Chuggerwugger, my baby brother, he's the one that has 6 children. I just think he wanted lots of Father Day presents.
A lot of children.
Could he not figure out what caused it?
Well, do you want to know what it is? And it sounds absolutely bizarre. So they're not married, they're just together. But they've been together for like 10 years. So, it's quite stable. They both had a child from previous encounters. So they came in and then they started to have children of their own, but they really wanted a girl. So
They kept getting boys, yeah?
Yeah, they kept so they have together 3 boys and then a girl. And then once they had the girl, that was it. I'm just so pleased they had a girl on their last attempt, because otherwise they would still be going at it. And it's just
Still going at it.
But he's a taxi driver. So he obviously, with 6 kids, he has like a minibus is the family car. So what he does, he takes Americans. So Americans come over, book a holiday with him, and he drives them up to Scotland and round all the Scottish Highlands, and then drives them back to the airport, etc. So
maybe I'll head him up next time I go, because I want to go to Scotland next time.
Oh, it's a lovely place, Scotland.
Yeah, I want to go back to
I only
Scotland.
made it all the way up to Liverpool last time, so.
Oh,
And
Liverpool's
then I
a bit
got
of a
too
dive.
drunk.
Liverpool's a bit of a dive, if you ask me. I'm not.
Really?
Hey,
Yeah.
I like
calm
that.
down. Calm down, all right? Calm down.
I just don't like Liverpool at all. I don't like anything over that side. It's a bit like Liverpool and Blackpool. They're all
What,
the
Manchester?
same.
In Manchester,
Manchester's awesome.
really?
They
They had the largest Gothic cathedral in Liverpool, and I went there. That was really cool.
Yeah, they have in Liverpool. They have 2, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
The
Museum's
Maritime
awesome as
Museum
well
is
there.
good there.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come to our where I live, we've got a minster, not a cathedral, a minster. This means it's.
I don't know what that is.
And you can
Yeah.
shoot Scottish people from the city walls with a longbow.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's actually
That's legal.
that's legal. Yeah.
I actually grew up in a village called Minster, and it confused the heck out of me whenever anyone referred to like York Minster or whatever. I was thinking, we're nowhere near York. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What made me laugh about York is that the Americans going, "Where's that little old church of yours?"
Oh yeah. And they're
You mean that
stood
big,
right
massive building right
underneath
over
it.
there?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's huge. It's absolutely huge, But we have, I think, because I work at a university there, a lot of people don't come to York because it doesn't have the nightlife, and they go to University Manchester because
They'd rather go to the new one, really, don't they?
Well, they don't want to come to the best one. They look for opportunities.
And nobody goes to the
nighttime.
new one because it's just full of Americans.
Yeah, just full
And
full.
money.
Right, I'm just going to open my window because it's getting warm here.
Before we go on, Captain, I loved you, Wall Street.
You love what side? Wall Street. I'm not going to enter into this. We're just going live, so be careful. This one, and that one. Okay. Let's come to you, Caramore, because I'm interested what you're going to be doing. Because you are in the house. You've seen these bandits creep off. What's going to be your actions?
Well, I want to find Billy, and I'm going to say to him, William, there are bandits approaching
William.
the town. We have to go and warn them immediately.
He's definitely not a William.
No, he's not, is he?
It's too many letters for William at all. Okay,
His full name's Billiard, so I don't know where you're getting this William from.
William Barrington. I forget. Does it? Oh no, it's Billy Bear, isn't it? Or Bear Billy. Yeah.
That's the hillbilly way of saying his official name.
Is it? So
Bill Bear. Sorry.
let's decide. Would you like odd or evens?
Odd.
So roll a d6 or any dice that you want, or any die that you want. If you get an odd number, he's somewhere in the house.
Apparently he is.
Yeah, he is. He's actually in his little room. He's just resting in there. He's been chopping wood since the early hours. And yeah, so what's going to be the
Look, you know the area better than I do. You're local. Bandits just came past the house. They're heading to the town. I think they're actually looking for us, but who knows who they may take their problems out on if they don't find us. Do you know a way we can get ahead of them and warn the others that they're coming?
right. So do you have your map, don't you?
Yes. There we go.
So there is a direct route that curves round to Snow Deep. You can see the
yes.
track there. But Billy was saying, well, we could actually try to take the direct route as the crow flies. He says it might be quite not dangerous, but tough. And he said, you're not riding me or anything like that, because he's not in bear form. He says, but he says, we can try it.
You
I
could
think we
slap
have
him
to,
and
don't
mock
we?
his mom.
I mean, if we don't get there in time, we don't get there in time, but at least we'll have tried.
Okay. So he sort of like says, follow me. He
I
seems
shall follow him.
rather keen. He does have a tracking skill, which we will use here. 13 out of 17. So you're on your way. So let's click back to the inn, to Snowed Inn. And the three of you have got this person, this half elf with blue hair, tied up, trussed up, and in what you're calling what Brasive is calling his interrogation room. You do notice, by the way, there's one or two people sort of like stood in the doorway having a look in.
I will give him a nice aggressive glare.
Yeah, and they sort of like shrink away a bit.
Okay.
And Belle, you see that as soon as Brasive turns around back to Quick Fingers, they appear again round the corner. They obviously can sense, Brasive, something's going to happen. Did you gag this lady or not?
No.
No.
Okay then.
I'm going to say, explain yourself. Why have you been stealing from this village?
She sort of like looks at you. You can roll your influence. Must be an opposed roll.
Where's my influence? Oh,
It's a standard skill.
Do you wish to reverse that?
Damn, that's pretty close though. Wow, I didn't know that's how influential you were.
I will use a point. Let's re-roll just for
Okay.
fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. What was your question?
Why have
Explain
you been
yourself.
stealing from this? Yeah, explain yourself. Why have
Are
you
you an
stealing from this village?
Aries? Sorry.
She sort of like looks over at you and says, I wasn't stealing. I was looking. And I found the stuff in that room when this little gutter snipe, and she sort of like, she can't raise her hand, but she signals over to Belle, snuck in through the window. She was going to steal the jewelry box.
Brace is going to grab a chair and throw it at the wall. Don't lie to us.
Yeah, there's.
Why did you steal this?
Tell the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I'm going to roll I'm going to roll intimidate.
Can I just do one thing first before you do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to cast. Yeah, I'm going to cast this. I'm going to cast Cause Fear.
Ooh.
You and your deity just confuses me so much.
We're having issues.
It's crazy having a cleric with an effective deity.
You've got to be cruel to be kind.
What is your deity? Goddess,
the goddess of suffering and hatred.
Goddess of protection, charity, and kindness.
As the darkness envelops behind me.
Okay, you can cast Cause of Fear. Not a problem at all.
I use a point of luck to reverse that, if that's okay. So a 3.
Ooh. Yeah. Not really saving for the bandits, are we?
So you need to touch, don't you?
I do. I will reach over as a tip. I do that Galadriel thing in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. So you remove the magic points. I have a willpower resist against it. She fails, and so you cause fear, which means that she actually, those who fail the roll flee in terror at splinting for 1d4 rounds. The direction must be away from the caster of the spell. So roll a 1d4. See how long she's going to. Okay, so that's 4 rounds. Her movement
the wall.
Her movement weight is 20. So at a sprint it would be 5 times as that. So that would be 100 feet at maximum sprinting. So yeah, you come round and touch her. And she's sort of like the fear of God, or a fear or something passes over her, and she struggles to the her feet and literally starts to belt it initially to the east, away from you, Ida. But she'll come around here, and she's literally running in fear as we come out. What would you like to do, Brasive? She looks like she's running.
Brace is gonna pick her up and then plant her down on the chair in front of him. That's not thrown at the wall.
Okay, then. So let's oppose brawn rolls to do that, because you're not.
Oh yeah,
planning on doing anything.
Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's literally you sort of like pick her up, and as you pick her up, you can see her physically shaking and cowering, and you sort of like put her on the chair, and the only way you can keep her in the chair is to actually plant your hands on her. And sort of like keep her in the chair, and she sort of like sits there whimpering and crying and trying her best to escape the evil clutches of Ida on the opposite side. And Belle, you see all this happening. What would you like to do?
I'm just there to support my allies and pepper in with lies if I need if I think it might be beneficial. So I'm not doing anything to threaten her, but I'm there as a presence.
Yeah. Could you also just roll for me a hearing perception, because you're really close to the door and you're not doing 46 out of 53. Thank you. So yeah, Bracif, you've now got this cowering, fearful woman. You can smell her now. She's actually a half elf, and you've got her planted on the chair, and she's whimpering and trying to get away. She's crying and sobbing a lot.
I'm gonna get close to one of her ears.
Where did you come from?
Yeah, she's in a state of panic at the moment. So she is just trying to escape the evil person opposite. She doesn't, although she recognizes that you're behind her, she's just cowering away from the fearful cleric opposite. She even tries to back into you. Trying to get away, because
I'll use this fear against her, and I'm going to pick her up and then carry her to the room across the building over here.
Hang on, sorry, I'm zoomed in onto the map. Yeah. Whereabouts? Sorry.
I'm going to go over to this room over here.
Okay, so you get up and start walking across, and you notice that the bar room is the tap room in here. It's full of the villagers that have come out to see. They heard the scream from above before, and they've seen you carry this person down, and you sort of like start to carry her across into this, and they sort of like, you can hear them muttering, and
I also yell for Belle to follow, but Ida to stay.
Okay. Belle, would you like to roll? Are you going to follow Belle?
Yes.
And Ida, are you going to stay? You could actually stand there and she would run in that direction away from you.
Well, as I walk
you
forward,
could
my armor
actually
goes
guide her.
As I walk forward, my armor goes from lovely white to black.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can you roll a perception check, Belle, with your keen hearing?
What?
If it was standard, then my great hearing would help. But if it was harder than standard, then I don't hear.
It's harder than standard.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw you a little luck point here. I've got 3 left. Now I'm down to 2.
Yeah.
Power.
Oh, damn. Ooh.
I got a hard.
Yeah. So the you hear just as you're coming across, and there's lots of muttering in here, and there seems to be some kerfuffle, etc. But you do hear a thud from upstairs. Is this something that's been dropped? Belle.
I want to scamper up to the room again. My mic was off.
I just thought you were scared. You were just sort of
like, not again. I don't want to get me thumped again.
I was trying to decide whether to grab Ida or be quick, and I think quickness is what I need right now.
Okay. So you dash upstairs.
You could also
like
say
to draw
Ida follow, but whatever. It's fine.
I'd like to draw my short sword. I'm not loud. I just have good hearing.
Yeah. So you, as you coming across to the opposite room where Bracif has taken this young lady, are you closing the door, Bracif? This one does actually have a door on it.
Yeah, I'll close the door.
Okay. And so you don't, as you walk across to this room that everybody's watching Brasive take this young lady into, as you get close, he sort of like closes the door on you, but you hear this thud from upstairs, as if something's been dropped. And you go up the stairs, and as you go, you draw your short sword, and as you get to the top, you see in the corridor Jack Tapp is lying on the floor.
At that point, I'll shout for Ida.
You can see.
Not very loud, though.
Is it under Rust Monster or Beast? I can never remember.
And this is why you have a sling.
Yeah. You notice that there is two almost like burn marks on Jack Tapp. It looks like he's taken something straight to the chest. You shout for Ida, and do you wish to do anything? So you're at the top of the stairs and you shout for Ida.
I'm going to shout for Ida, and then I'm going to slink my way to try and use cover to my maximum benefit to try and sneak up and peer into the room to see if I can see anything.
Okay, so what you notice in the room that you found this other lady in, Quick Fingers, you notice that there's a lot of the coffers and jewelry boxes, etc., are no longer there, but there is an open window off to one side. You can see the open window.
It was
I
the
want to dash to
horse.
the window and look out.
Yeah, you can see out across. You can't see anything out there apart from the stable, where there only remains a wagon.
It is my inability to see anything because I need to pull myself up a few more inches to see out the window, or because there's nothing to see?
There's nothing else to see at this moment.
Told you it's a
I'm
horse.
going to wait for Ida.
Yeah, so Ida comes to.
I'll come up and I'll kneel beside Mr. Thingamabob.
Jack Tapp.
Yeah.
Jack Tapp, that's it, yes. And I shall drop a heel on him.
Yeah, go for it.
Rather than cure, I want to. No, I don't.
Well, it's interesting because when you try to cast this cure like wounds, there's a pause, a momentary pause, as if the magic doesn't flow through you. It's almost like as if you finish the incantation and there's almost a pause before your deity's power channels through you. And it's a sort of it's the smallest of pause that actually makes you almost like feel disconnected for a moment, and then the power comes through you. There's definitely a moment of disconnection.
Ida's faith is on dial-up.
Yeah. So he's actually this is going to stabilize him. He has quite a serious wound on his chest. It is below 0. 1 point. What does it say? know we don't want the reverse. 2 actions, minor headache. Does it give them 1 point?
Mhm.
Yeah. So you have you seen this before? Have you seen a magic missile spell before?
I think somebody's used that at some point. Just does who has magic?
I don't think our
does-
first wizard liked using magic missile.
Yeah.
I think
And
that was a
Caramore.
spell they didn't want to use. No, before Caramore. On our
Oh,
first,
right.
when it
What
was,
in the mines?
yeah, I don't think he ever used a magic missile.
Well, Ida, you can look at it, and it's definitely some kind of magical attack.
3 burn marks.
Yeah. And he's unconscious, but you've managed to stem the bleeding, and he seems to be stable. And while all this is happening, Brasive, you are behind a locked door, a closed door with this young lady.
I place her down on a chair. If you don't start answering my questions, I'm going to have the elvish lady come back in and scare you again. You got it?
So roll your intimidation.
Do, 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 do,
33. 33. Here comes my.
Uh-oh.
No, actually, I'm pleased about that, because now I've gone from 32 to 33 for my
Oh, we
next
could
round.
have very opposing. Yeah.
Okay then. So she fails well. So tell me what the question was again.
Where are you from?
She looks at you. She looks quite worried, and you are big and muscly and quite dangerous. And she doesn't whimper at you. The fear spell is wearing off, and she seems to be quite defiant, but takes the intimidation and answers your question. And she says, "Willowbridge."
Same place as the other elvish lady, right?
And she says, "What of a elvish lady?"
The one that sings and whatever.
She just sort of like goes, "Huh."
How long have you been stealing the Patreon's items?
Oh, she says, "They're stupid. I mean,
How long have you been stealing their items?
weeks, months."
Well, what do you want me to do now? I'm going to return all their items to them, and then I'm going to leave it up to them what to do with your body. You understand?
She looks quite nonchalant at you and says, "Fine."
Why? These are poor people.
She looks at you and defiantly says, "We all need to eat."
And you took all their ability to eat.
She shrugs her shoulders and says, "Didn't take their food or the water."
He's gonna
Kill
try
her.
to see if he can. Yeah, he's gonna. Now he chops off her head, and that's it. He's gonna try to tie up her legs as well, and he's gonna try to hog tie her if he can.
Yeah, while you sort of like find something in here and rip a bit of the carpet up or whatever, and she sort of like looks at you and says, "Oh," she says, "I didn't know you wanted me to be all tied up like this."
Shut up.
"Oh, yes, sir."
You're no horse.
She
I
goes,
can't ride you to battle.
you say, "Shut up," and she goes, "Nay,
Oh my!
Oh yeah.
I paused for a sec. Yeah, I tie her up and then walk her, open the door and walk her out to
Yeah, you got her legs
Yeah.
tied together. She'll have to
I'm
jump.
gonna pick her up. I'm gonna pick her up and carry her to essentially like the main area in front of the crowd.
Or you can just go out of the door here.
Are they all out already?
Yeah, everybody's in this in the main tap room. And
I have one idea.
oh, please do oratory now. Please give a speech.
No,
Please give a speech.
Patrons of the bar, I found your thief. She's been stealing your items for weeks now.
But as I say this, as I'm about to say the next thing, I'm going to look straight at the bard lady and try to see her reaction.
Sorry, who?
The bard lady.
Sweet Tunes.
Sweet tunes.
Yeah, sweet
Sweet
tunes.
tunes, yeah.
Sweet
Is
Tunes.
she right over there or no?
No, Sweet Tunes was left upstairs.
Got it.
Yeah,
got
she
it.
stole all the money.
Got it. Never mind then. I thought she was sitting right there.
Only
Her
in
fate.
your mind, look.
Yeah, I thought she came downstairs.
No, she didn't.
Oh,
She was
no.
pretending
Go
to pass
back.
out, and Jack
that's
Tap was
right.
with her, and then she shot him.
Oh,
And then she took
God.
the gold, and that's why her sister is like, "Oh, I don't care about anything now." And now we have to break fingers.
And
Moral
I've
of the
got rid,
story is
and I've
always
got rid
trust
of
Caramel's opinions.
I've got rid of abrasive sores.
And the horse is dead.
This elf lady's about to lose her head. I'm gonna be honest.
You might want to go check out there. It might be bleeding out.
No.
You just go out to the stables. It's like, hold me.
the what? The mayor steps forward, abrasive, and sort of like he's quite intimidated by you, but also recognizes that this is he's in charge, and he sort of like you're not too sure whether or not he steps forward or other people push him forward. And he says, first of all, I would just like to say thank you to the Flabbergasters for revealing this nasty person. Thank you, Flabbergasters. We really do appreciate. And so you can hear there somebody says, she looks rather like Sweet Tunes in the background. And the mayor sidles up to Quick Fingers, but as he gets close, he sort of goes like that, and he sort of like shudders backwards and says, "You are not welcome in this town. You must leave now and go."
Grace is gonna hear the suggestion of she looks like Sweet Cheeks. I'm like,
Sweet Cheeks. Who the
Tunes.
flip is that? You're
That's
just
the name of his
making up.
horse.
Yeah. You're just making up
Brilliant.
names now.
Sweet cheeks and sour fingers.
sorry, that's just the name I call myself when I look in the mirror every day.
I thought that was what you called the horse.
Hey,
A little Freudian slip there. No.
Where's the other elfin lady?
And there's a mutter, and the mayor says, "Upstairs, I think she's with Jack Tap upstairs."
Do you have a jail or a place to put this lady?
No, but we will banish her from Snow Deep.
She's
And
gonna
he
come
sort-
back and steal your things.
He
If she
sort
finds you
of
easy.
like comes back, and when you say that, he looks back at Quick Fingers and says, "If you come back, we will be very cross,
we'll
And
chop her
so-
feet off first.
and so will Mr. Brasive. And believe me, young lady, You do not want to see him when he's cross. And he sort of like looks round to get with the audience, and he'll say, "Oh yes, well done. Let's vote for him next time. He's really good." And he sort of like very proud of himself. Caramore and Billy Bear, you arrive at the village. You've done as the crow flies, but you haven't come across any of the bandits as you progress in. What would you like to do? You can actually see, sorry, Caramore, you can actually see that there's the majority of Snow Deep is hanging out round by the tavern. There's various
I'll head straight
people.
to the tavern then, I suppose.
Yeah, with Billy Bear. Yeah, and you walk in to the scene with Brasive with this elvish lady all trussed up, and the mayor saying, "And don't you come back ever again." And as you approach, yes, and as you approach and go into a tavern, you do notice that Lady Veneer is heading to the tavern as well, and you have a choice. You can you have courtesy, do you not? Well, your courtesy.
I do, yes. She wasn't impressed with my courtesy last time.
No, but you remember to sort of like let her through, and she sort of like moves in
sort of
straight.
A half bow and
yeah, and she sort of like looks around, and she sort of like scans round, and she turns to you, Caramore, and she says, I need the cleric. I need the cleric. My daughter is ill. Very, very, very ill. Meanwhile, up on the top floor, first floor, Ida, you've cured this person with a slight pause in your magic. Belle, you've gone to the window and looked out. What would either of you like to do next?
I'm rushing towards Brasive.
I'll run back downstairs too.
Okay, then. So Jack Tap is stable, but still on the floor, and you come down the stairs, and you can see the crowd of people around, and the mayor is telling Quick Fingers that she's not welcome in this town anymore, and she's sort of like, I will leave and never come back. If this brute would undo my legs that he tied up.
Do not do this thing you are going to do. Her sister
Quiet,
Sweet
wench.
Tunes.
Were you saying I did?
No.
The other wench.
I didn't say anything.
Her sister Sweet Tunes has hurt Mac Tack.
Jack Tap.
Jack Tap, sorry.
And they got away with
And
them.
escaped
They got away with all the stolen goods.
All your
Says-
belongings are gone.
She says, I do
If you
not
let her
have
go-
a sister.
If you let her go, they'll just meet up outside this town and go to another town and do exactly the same thing where they coerce you into her being the friendly bard, and her sister, or stepsister, will be robbing them blind.
The mayor looks puzzled and said, "Oh, what are you suggesting we would do?"
Let's eat her. No. I do believe we should make a jail
make a
or a
trade.
prison and
You want
hold her
to-
there.
You want to keep her here, and we will have to provide her food and water?
Food and water and warmth, yes.
Yes.
But she will not be able to hurt anybody else in the future. It is a just thing to do. It's what we do in the larger cities.
This
is
is
Caramore
not...
here yet?
Yes, you're at the door.
I've just cut her hand off.
The
Turn
mayor
her
sort
into
of
a
like,
sheep.
and where do we build? What do we use for this jail?
Look,
And
I
what
don't
are we
like to
going
disturb this fascinating conversation about jail building and so forth, but there's a gang of bandits on the way to the town now, and maybe we should deal with that first.
And Caramel
Bandits, you
says,
say?
and Caramel says this, and Lady Veneer says, and my daughter has a dreadful disease.
Yes, yes, bandits, dear, bandits.
Brasive with hearing about the bandits is going to throw the half elf lady onto the ground, take out his battle axe, and then run outside with towards the horse he left at the stables.
Are you going
It's
out
my
the-
time.
Dreams is stolen.
Oh yeah, you go round to the back stable. Just you push her to the ground. I don't think you're meaning to do damage or anything,
No.
but she stumbles
Dropping
to
her essentially. Yeah.
yeah, and you head off around the back.
And all we
Belle-
hear is little girl go, no!
No! Belle and Ida, what would you like to do? So you've heard both Caramel and Lady Veneer.
I mean, equip my sling. Get that whole story out of the way.
Okay. So you equip your sling. Quick Fingers is lying down on the ground. Ida, what would you like to do?
I'm going to equip my shield and my mace, look at the crowd and the mayor and say, guard her with your lives.
And they look puzzled, but many of them nod and agree. Belle, you're staying there, yeah?
No, I'm gonna join the party.
So, Calmore, you're staying in the tavern, yeah?
Oh, no. There are bandits to be faced, and once I've got my companions around me, I'm okay to face them.
All right, so you're going to go out to the front.
Yeah.
Brasive, you get round the back to find that your horse has gone.
No! My equine beauty, no!
And Ida, as you go towards the door, Lady Veneer sort of like reaches out to you in desperation and says, please come and see my daughter. She is dying.
I will have to first face this first bit of evil. Otherwise, what is the point? Because you'll all be dead too. So let us face the bandits, and then I will seize your daughter.
So yeah, so you tell her this, and she breaks into sobs and hysterical, and she sort of like falls to her knees and my daughter will die. And you go out the front as well. Belle, are you going out the front as well?
Yes, but before I do, I want to, since I'm lower to the ground, I'm hoping this will be a little easier. I want
You
to
can run under the tables if you wish.
Thank you. Yes, I do want to do that. But I want to whisper to Quick Fingers. I'll say, this isn't over yet. Stay put. I'll tap her with the sling string. You know, it doesn't do anything. It just doesn't work, but I let her know that I'm small and angry, and then I'll follow the party out the front door.
Yeah. Abrasive. What's
Abrasive in a wave of rage is going to run towards where he presumes the bandits are going to be coming from, because he is now wanting to murder out of despair.
Yeah, so you all rush outside, and you notice that some of the tavern folk are following you, but I imagine you probably tell them to stay inside and shut the doors. more to protect rather than anything. And you sort of like stood on the main road through Snow Deep, and it's almost like that high noon. You just all stood there waiting. Billy Bear is here as well, but he'll stay in the tavern. And yeah, you stand there and wait.
Would it be terrible if we kill the bandits, come back into the tavern, and she's killed everybody in there?
They start murdering everyone in town.
I think you have time to heal that lady's child, maybe.
No, because she's at our house, isn't she?
I thought she was just at the tavern door, begging you.
No, that's the lady. I thought the daughter was at the house, isn't it?
The maid is at the house. It was the maid that got her
Jess.
daughter. Her daughter came in with her, and is
Oh, did she?
She's in somebody's house. Can we just roll some initiative just so we got some initiative on the board?
Certainly.
Where am I?
You're outside the.
Mine's 14.
Mine's a 17.
Oh,
Mine's whatever is higher.
What's yours?
Yours is
Paramore?
actually lower.
Yeah. Oh,
Paramore just rolled really
16.
bad.
Terrible.
Yours is a plus 15 as opposed to Brace's 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I rolled terribly.
So you let me just duplicate this out. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Hide in the shadows. After we've been here for perhaps a minute or so, it'll dawn on Belle that perhaps standing out in the open's a bad idea, and maybe she'll try and like go off to the side or find some small spot she can pop out of.
Nice.
It's a really annoying route of a gnome rogue.
I can't. Oh,
But they left our
advanced-
place before I did. I can't believe we beat them here by this much.
no. Well, I'm gonna say loudly, "Hey, Carabor, isn't that the guy who you killed his brother?"
That guy looks very similar to the person you killed earlier.
The guy I barbecued, you mean? Yes.
Didn't you
Did
mock his
somebody
mother
say-
first?
You start to doubt Caramore at this point.
I'm sure I didn't dream it. There were bandits.
The main street is empty.
Does Caramore work for the elves?
Is this
I
all
just want to see
interaction?
like a little flurry of snow and maybe a snowball go rolling in front of us.
Yeah.
Look, I
Come
saw
on.
them outside our place. Okay, they were saying that they were looking for us, but they thought that the house looked empty, so they moved on to town. And Billy and I came
Wait.
rushing in to warn everyone.
They didn't specify you by.
Yeah.
But one of them said
Why,
that he
don't we
was
know
looking for
someone
the
that
fellow
was
who burned
attacked by
and
bandits
incinerated his
recently?
brother. So I thought
Yeah.
that has to be us, doesn't it?
Don't we know someone who's attacked by bandits recently? Right.
Lady Veneer, yes. And then we killed those bandits, and they had more bandit friends and family and kids. And bandit grandchildren, I'm sure.
Yeah, because the
Bandit
bandits
cousins.
took the maid up north as a sacrifice, didn't they?
So here's an idea. Surely they're somewhere here, or maybe they just broke into the house after Caramore left and are trashing the place. There's no prison. There's no prison here in this town. That's been made very clear by the mayor and folk.
Yet.
Why don't
Yep.
we form our own little prison and solve this crime the way that we flabbergast everybody all the time? Like, use our
You mean Bracey
flabbergasty
kills them
style.
all?
And stop chopping off hands.
Maybe we don't mention that, the murder part, but we'll get to the bottom of this and bring real justice, and we won't burden the townsfolk who will. No offense, townsfolk, but you'll probably let her get away. We should go check on her.
What?
I say we grab her, go to our house, and if we see these bandits along the way, we drop our cargo and we slaughter the bandits.
Fine, I need my horse back.
Well, that's part of the. I'm guessing Sweet Tunes stole your beautiful horse, and when we get her sister to admit where she is, then we get your horse back.
And kill her
Right.
for stealing my
But
horse.
my friend,
Sure.
once we've dealt with this, we can just simply follow her tracks.
But wait a minute. What's this about a sister? And surely you've got Sweet Tunes tied up in the tavern, although she does seem to be dressed differently.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, you weren't there, I guess. So
He wasn't
there's another sister who hit me on the back of the head when I was looking around in the room. The room had a magic mouth symbol on it, like the one we saw at our house, except that one just screams bloody murder, as opposed to our fun one. So they have magic, and somebody shot Jack Tap with a magic missile, and there was all of the treasure in one room. And then
Now it's gone.
yeah, so Sweet Tunes made her way back, stole everything, has fled on the horse that Bracef seems to have bonded with in his moment, and now we have we're gonna call her Quick Fingers because she was fiddling around trying to sap me in the head, and we have her tied up, and she's arrogant.
And then you
She
lied
has
to
hubris.
us
So what I'm
about some
hearing-
bandits.
So what I'm hearing is that I was right and the bard wasn't to be trusted. That's the core of it.
Exactly.
I want my horse back.
So if
But
I was
then-
right
but
about
then-
that, I must be right about these bandits. Hello, bandits!
But then she
I
fooled us
burned your
twice.
friends.
She did what twice, though?
She fooled us twice, didn't she?
Oh,
That's not
Fine.
my room. This is my room.
Brace is gonna start heading back to go pick up the elf later because he's obsessed over where his horse could be.
Yep, I'm gonna
Yeah.
follow him.
okay. You, Bracef and Bell, you walk back in, and you're greeted by the mayor. You also notice on this table here, Lady Veneer is being soothed by two other women. She seems to be crying like anything. The mayor sort of like comes up to you, Bracef, and said, "She promised never to come back ever."
Oh,
You
She
let her
knows
go?
where all of your
Lord
things
of
are and where my
God.
horse is.
No, Mr. Bracef, do not worry. She promised never to come back. I was very stern about that, wasn't I? And people go, yes, it was. It was very forceful. And she actually said she will never come back and she will never steal from us ever again. And there's a little bit of
There's nothing left.
a little bit of a ripple of applause, and he looks very pleased with himself, and he sort of like looks at you, Bracef, and says, she asked me to give you these, and he hands over the strips of fabric.
carpet.
Yeah, that
You let her go?
We banished her. We banished her from this village.
Brace is gonna
Bracef, banish
is
him.
gonna no. Brace is the table in front of him. He's going to slice his axe right down into it out of
Yeah,
anger.
go for it. Just make
see if I
you don't need to make an attack roll. Just roll it just in case it's a fumble. or
Oh,
crit.
yeah.
No, that's good. Do me some damage.
12 damage.
Yeah, you sort of
Beautiful.
like bring your axe slam bang into the table, and you sort of like a chunk, and sort of like goes through the flimsy wood. You don't split the table in half, but you definitely go in. And Lady Veneer, who stood there, sort of like goes ah like this, and some of the other people sort of like step
I told
back.
you to watch her.
I'm going to
We-
run back in here in this.
Now the bandits are going to turn up. Now Callum
Yeah.
has been left alone in the street.
And then I'm going to lock the door.
And do you want to know that they're going to organize that? They're going to approach you just in this formation. You know, they're always going to attack like that from now on.
What's
Creative
going on in
memorize
here?
Burning hands.
I had a scream and a crash.
My daughter's dying.
Where's your
Ida,
daughter,
could
my
you-
lady?
Could you help her child?
I will try now, but where's your child, mistress?
Or
Miss
she sort of
lady?
like immediately sort of like gets up and says, come this way, and she leads you off further into town, and they're actually staying in the mayor's residence. It's not a big place, but it has a spare room that they're actually camped out in. And you notice that this her daughter Jess is lying on a mattress, a hail straw mattress, and she has some blankets over her. The first thing that you notice is that as you come in, you notice her breathing to start off with. It's very labeled and husky, and every now and then she coughs. And as you get closer, you notice that her face it's pale and clammy, and yet there's beads of sweat on her brow, and she definitely looks ill, and she's sort of like she's got her eyes closed, but she's muttering, and her head keeps going backwards and forwards. And as you get even closer, you notice then that she's got these red marks on her. You've seen leeches leave similar marks on humans before. Apart from they're sort of like this big, they're not small like a leash. It's just these huge sores on her. Yeah, well, you're going to cast.
Well, I'm just reading what it says, sorry, before I do anything.
It'll probably kill her if you do cause serious wounds. You could probably put her out of her misery.
Misery.
Yeah, then that'll be over and done with. We won't need to worry about it in future.
Yeah.
I don't have cure disease. Well, we'll try this. We'll see what this does, and hopefully, and then if that doesn't work, I'll try cure fatigue. So I'm going to try cure serious wounds.
Yep.
And your channel roll.
That's nice. Yeah. So roll 1d6 plus 2, is it? Oh yes.
Indeed.
Cure disease is a second rank spell. The interesting thing is the sphere of magic for it is necromancy, which I think is quite fun.
Perfect.
Yeah, you cast cure serious wounds on her. Her temperature drops slightly, but there's still no sort of like marked change or anything like that in her.
So my next thing will be I'll try to remove her tiredness.
Yeah.
If she's strong enough to fight it herself, that'll be better. So a channel spell. Oh no, but I will take my time over it if that's okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, and you can cast cure fatigue, and she seems to lapse into a more restful sleep, but you still notice that she's still sweating like anything, and also you pull back the blanket a bit and you see these huge red areas dotted around on her skin.
Okay, that's not worked. So I'll try flame strike. I'm sorry, my lady. This is all I'm able to do at this moment. I need time to rest myself. Just keep her cool. There's plenty of snow outside. Maybe pack some in a pillowcase and put it on her.
She sort of like nods frantically and agrees and sort of says, "Hey, I can do that. Kind lady, will she die?"
I cannot say. I've not seen something like this before. This is unusual.
She sort of like lets out a slight whimper of realization, and she picks up some cloth and goes outside and scoops some snow into it and bring it back and sort of like lays it on her forehead, on Jessie's forehead.
As she's walking back in with the snow, I'll place my hand on her shoulder and say, "Stay strong for her. She may need you to support her."
To kill her, yeah.
Yeah.
She sort of
If
like
she starts to
Virtually
turn,
unclean.
she sort of like nods frantically and sort of like crouches down at her side and sort of like mops her brow.
I shall walk purposefully back out of the mayor's house and back towards the tavern.
Yeah. Okay. It's a little bit early, but let's pause it there for tonight, and then we can, because if we start a battle now, we're not going to finish it. But we've got initiatives ready.
Wait. I think we could finish it. We got 15 minutes. You got abrasive. I think we could just. It's just 4 of them. Come on.
Have we though? Depends where the battle is. I mean, where's Brasive at the moment?
He's inside chopping down furniture.
Yeah,
Exactly.
15 minutes is probably enough to finish Caramore, yes, but I don't like that plan.
Exactly. And there's no guarantee that the battle is going to happen here in any case. So let's pause it there, and then we can pick up next week or next time we play when we can find out what happened to the bandits, or even see if anybody with tracking skills can track down where Sweet Tunes went on Brace's horse, or even where Quick Fingers has nipped off to. Caramore, how many hours do you need to research your new spell?
It's a week. I've done 1 day so far.
Oh yeah, you've got a bit of time before that is up then. Okay, brilliant. So let's go around and people can say where they can find you for the rest of the week, and we'll start off with you, Mr. Pickles.
I don't actually think I have anything to share. Nothing's going on. I'm still editing for the podcast, but if you haven't watched any episodes, you can always go to And I Took That Personally from me. It's on Apple and Spotify podcasts.
Brilliant. And Medivac, you have lots to say.
But you're fully muted.
Kid. Still, there we go.
Too many mute buttons. So Monday, yes, I will be doing Traveller from 7 o'clock on Medivac Leading Hoover. On Thursday, we are doing Kingmaker. We have now a new kingdom of our own. And we'll
Nice.
spend the next 4 hours after that trying to name it. Yeah. And that's really it this week. Oh, on Saturday, you can catch me on inwils channel playing classic fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. I might watch that.
Yeah, it
Worth
might be
watching.
good. And
It's a bit shaky in places, you know. And some of the characters go out of character, but it's you know,
generally it's all right.
it's normally all right.
Yeah. And Fishy.
Yeah, okay, so tomorrow night I will be playing Liminal on Dratacup's channel. And then on Monday afternoon, I will be doing a mapping stream, another map at Monday. I think that's about all
Nice.
I've got planned for this week, but I've got those on.
And
That's obviously on
finally,
Fish Not Fish.
and finally, Captain Kangaroo. Go for it.
I might do anything. Oh, actually, now you say it. I'm gonna start doing a competition series, live streaming it. I'm gonna have random people do 1 minute bouts of what they consider comedy, little like 1 minute stand up bits. It's just gonna be me and a few people on a panel. We're gonna call it Murder-Roo. And it's very original and not stolen. And all proceeds, of course, will go to people who are told by their grandma that they're, handsome and funny in their own little way, but really are just fugly and autistic. So, we'll keep an eye out. And I'll send the emails out. I don't have an email list. So if you have an email, maybe I'll send it to one, or maybe it'll be something inappropriate. We'll find out.
Thank you very much. Okay, then. That's it for tonight. I'll see you all next time. Look after yourself. See you. Bye.
Bye.
The content of this podcast is covered by the Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, so please give appropriate credit if you are sharing or copying any part of this podcast. Thank you.